Well, it was a cold start to the Paris-Dakar Cairo 2000, the French capital's welcome. A warm one, as always. Well, time for champions and debutants to mix, and the all-important technical checks to be made on all the vehicles. Well, it's the 22nd running of the Dakar, and the technical checks in Paris. It was a seaborne journey all the way to the African capital of Senegal. Nerves not exactly beginning to fray, but certainly a sense of expectation and tension amongst the competitors. The welcome, just like Paris, a warm one here in Dakar. Race day approaching for 200 bikes, 135 cars and 66 trucks, all into the Parc Fermé, just to make sure there'll be no tampering en route. And the crowd's turning out to cheer them all on. 11,000 kilometers lying ahead en route to Cairo. And so to stage one, Dakar to Tambacounda, staying in Senegal, a special of 284 kilometers. A 37-year-old veteran determined to wind in Richard Sykes and nullify the challenge of BMW. Dust on this day, it was not an easy one. Carlos Sousa, though, was enjoying himself in the Mitsubishi. Other official works cars were playing catch-up. Kenjiro Shinazuka, Matsuoka. Kleinschmidt had a bad day as well. It was the Mitsubishi of Carlos Sousa that he sponsored himself that was to take the day. Well, the dust was being thrown up. Not too bad on the day. Jean-Louis Schlesser and his very special buggy, the defending champion, still in the frame. Not a winner on this day, but he knows biding your time on the Dakar is all important. It wasn't an easy stage by any means. Schlesser up there with the challenge. And so to stage two, Tambacounda in Senegal, to KS in Mali. The special today, 212 kilometers. It was to be done. And what a day this turned out to be for Stefan Pederhansel, the man on board a car called the Mega. You may not have heard of it before, but it's becoming renowned here on the Dakar. A lightweight machine, more suited to ice racing, everyone thought, than Dakar rallying. Not a bit of it. Jean-Louis Schlesser knows all about building special cars. Pederhansel was to take the day, with Schlesser coming in third place behind Jose Marie Servia. Shinazuka, though, still leading overall ahead of Sousa, who won on the opening day. Dust once again the problem, if not more so. Shinazuka blaming the bike riders.
Everybody in the dust. Not from the car, from the motorbike. Terrible. From the start to the finish.
Well, as others were succeeding, others were already on their way home. Mechanical problems, accidents, there were plenty of them. Thankfully, nobody seriously hurt. Plenty of pride damage, though. Luc Alphonse even having to pull his Renault Kangoo across the line to try and make the final 100 meters unassisted. And so to stage three, KS staying in Mali to Bamako, a special of 245 kilometers along the way, 711 days of preparation. In the cars, Shinazuka extending his lead overall. Indeed, it was a fantastic day for Mitsubishi. Shino taking it ahead of Fontenay. Matsuoka also in the frame. Fourth, on the day, up to third overall. But staying close at hand, who else but the champion, Jean-Louis Schlesser. It was a difficult day, not only because of the dust, but also the road map had changed somewhat since it had been drawn out and navigation became a difficulty. Peter Hansel in trouble. He drove a very long day, longer than he had to. Where's Nero, he says, going cross-country to find it. And so on to stage 4, leaving Mali, bound for Bobo Dioulasso in Burkina Faso. 286 kilometers, the special. Well, it was a mixed day, as always. Bruno Savi looking a little nervous. He needed a gearbox change and had to wait until 5:30 in the morning. Says the assistant truck has only just got to us. We've got to change everything. And we're going to start in 2 hours' time. It's going to be very tight indeed. Change the gearbox, revise just about everything. Clock's against us, he says. As always. Savi, the new parts seem to work. He finished third on the day. Did himself all sorts of favours. 10th overall, just 18 minutes off the leading pace, which belonged to Shinazuka. It was a fast day of mixed terrain. It suited Schlesser absolutely perfectly. Schlesser said he could have been faster. He was taking it easy. The day was to belong to Jutta Kleinschmidt. Same stage as last year, virtually. Kleinschmidt, a happy woman. Others, not so. Serge Luce, upside down. Thankfully, nobody hurt. Hubert Auriol, giving a helping hand. Race director dropping in on occasion. This assistance obviously deemed not excessive. And so stage 5, staying in Burkina Faso, destination Ouagadougou, 762 kilometers with a long special of 485. Kinnan had a great day too, finishing 4th, just 54 seconds off Kindergartner's winning time, 4th overall. Mitsubishi not having things all their own way on this day. Shinazuka still leading by 6 minutes ahead of Jean-Louis Schlesser overall. But Mitsubishis were having to take a back seat to the buggies on this day. Schlesser himself taking it in 3 hours 55, just 8 seconds clear of Stefan Peter Hansel, who was in hot pursuit. Yes, pedal to the metal for the man in the Mega. Peter Hansel, 3rd overall behind Schlesser, just 10 minutes off the leading pace. For dust a hazard, so was traffic on this day. Raphael Cambrai sounding the horn, saying, get out of the way. I'm coming through. Stage 6, leaving Burkina, bound for Niamey in Niger, a special of 526 kilometers. In the cars, Sousa was to repeat the feat. The man who'd won on the opening stage did it again, and did it with style. Virtually a Mitsubishi privateer, out there on his own, finishing 1 minute 49 seconds clear of Stefan Peter Hansel. Cloudy, dusty conditions once again. They mean nothing if you're in the lead. Coming runner-up on the day meant less to Peter Hansel than the amount of time he put between himself and Jean-Louis Schlesser. 4 minutes and 8 seconds. Schlesser second behind Shinazuka overall. Peter Hansel a close third. The Mega, beautifully suited to these conditions. 200 kilos lighter than a standard Mitsubishi, skipping over the bumps. Looking good. Shinazuka managed third ahead of Schlesser, which meant that Schlesser failed to close the gap any further overall. Shino leading by 6 minutes and 15 seconds at the top of the rankings. Once again, beautiful and dramatic scenery. Villages, they try to miss them. The speed guns within them, if they ever have to go through. And the penalties for speeding are high.
Okay.
Jerome Rivière in the Nissan, the T1 class.
Je lui force dessus.
Not exactly straight out of the car showroom,
200 mètres, vu le
but
puits à
near
droite.
enough.
Ouais.
Leader in this class, looking good.
On est arrivé trop vite.
Not so well placed.
Il y avait Stubo devant et
Jean-François
on a filé tout droit.
Souza came out in front of me.
C'est dur pour s'en
Lost my
sortir. C'est pas
concentration
évident, ça fait une demi-heure qu'on est
and
là.
ended up in this dried up riverbed. As you can see, it's not all about driving and speed in the Dakar. A certain level of ingenuity is required as well as sheer effort.
C'est pas le Club Med, hein.
It's not a holiday, he said.
Je vais faire. Vous avez fait la rivière.
Right, we finished with the river. Turn the water on. And what about the trucks? Well, Chigini second on stage 6. Leader overall, over 40 minutes clear of Diaz-Aveno. Kabirov in another Kamaz, just like Tigini, is in third place ahead of Carol Lafray. In the bikes, Roma leads. 22 minutes, 22 seconds clear of Richard Sykes. Kinnegard in third place ahead of Gallardo and Jimmy Lewis. In the car, Shinazuka leads by 6 minutes and 15 seconds ahead of Schlesser. Peter Hansel in touch as well, 8 minutes and 6 off the pace in third, and it's Fontenay and Souza. And that, I'm afraid, is where racing was halted in the Dakar. Race director Hubert Oriol saying that following the announcement of a terrorist threat to the Dakar, we have received assurances from the Niger authorities that we will be protected. However, the safety and security of all on this race is of paramount importance. So, under advice from the French Foreign Ministry, we have decided to airlift all materials and personnel to Saba in Libya over the next 4 days. Racing will restart again on January the 17th. The decision was a brave one. It was also extremely expensive. 3 Antonovs, troop transporters, massive monoliths of the sky, were called in at a cost of 30 million French francs. These aircraft have an enormous carrying capacity. They can take several trucks and up to 21 cars in one flight. Their arrival was heralded by all as our saving grace. Well, everything had to be packed up, even the helicopters. Too dangerous for them to fly on alone. The rotors dismantled, everything boxed up and shipped aboard the big planes. As well as the choppers, 143 motorcycles, 113 cars, 26 T4 class trucks, 38 T5s, 16 press cars, a total of 336 vehicles. 715 competitors will be joining them, as will 615 organisers, mechanics, and of course, journalists like myself. So the Antonovs departing Niamey, destination Sava in Libya. Wish us well.